Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the flight deck. Today we're carrying on with our tour of the U.S. It is an overcast day out here on the American East Coast. We're currently in Trenton, New Jersey, and we're going to be flying down to the capital of Delaware, which is Dover. Now, Dover doesn't have its own airfield, but there's a small sort of private field next to it that we're going to be going to. There is a major airfield there, but it's a U.S. Air Force base, and we're not going to be going in there. But it's going to be an interesting flight. It's a shorter one today, but we'll see how we do. It is a short field, only 2,500 feet. We're going to be kind of sneaking in there and using that entire runway when we get there. But we're going to be in the clouds for a good portion of this trip. I think we're only going to go up to about 3,000 feet, see if we can stay underneath the cloud layer, and we'll head down, maybe 2,500. Anyway, let's hop on board. We'll get the aircraft set up, get her started up, and then we'll get ready to go. All right, we're here inside the aircraft. We'll take a quick look at our route today before we get too far into it. So I'll bring up the route map, and here we go. So we're up here in just outside Trenton. Oh, go away. Trenton, New Jersey. We're going to be flying out towards the Cedar Lake VOR here, VCN, which is going to take us just to the east of Philadelphia. We're then going to shoot down this way to the ENO VOR, crossing over the waterway here. And the airfield we're going into is right here, 0 and 4, and Dover Air Force Base is down here. And there's Dover, Delaware. So that is our route today. It's about 80 miles or so. We're showing 72 direct, about 80 miles as we are flying it today. Frederick, hello. Welcome to the stream. All right, so let's get the aircraft up and going. First thing we're going to do is get the doors in the back closed up. There we go. So we're going to have them hook the battery cart up so we can start off the battery cart. Here, everything's starting to power up now. And I'll quickly grab the weather here for Trenton. It's turning marginal. So we got, it's a bit hazy. We have a lot of smoke from the fires up here where I am now, in the Toronto area. I was out earlier today. But we got a scattered layer at 3,400 feet. So 3,000 or below is where we're going to try to stay. Put the weather into the chat. There we go. So 2982 is going to be our barrow. So we'll set that. 2982 about there. We're about 200 feet. There we go. Alright, so we are on the battery cart. Avionics are off. I'm going to turn on the beacon light. Turn on the position lights. Everything else is good. Make sure our mag master is pushed in. Oh, forgot about that. Let me pop out briefly and reset this to my controls where I've killed those mag switches. There we go. Well, let me do this by hand. There we go. I have switches on my yoke, so it disables those. So the mags are on, generators, boost pumps, and everything is good to go. So down we go to the fuel tanks. We're going to come down here, set the mains. So left main is set. And right main is set on the fuel. Also make sure we're indicating left and right main. 95 gallons or so per tank. We are good. So we're going to start with the right engine first. And then we'll do the left one. Alright, so mixture is going into auto rich, propeller is going fully forward, throttle's cracked an inch, mags are on, Boost pump is now on. It gives us our fuel pressure. Generators are on. Right engine energized. You can hear it starting to spin up. Nice steady tone. Mesh and primer on. There we go. Engine's up and running. Let's let her start to warm up. There she goes. Start to get a little bit of heat through the cylinders, and then she starts to run a little bit smoother. Bring her all the way up to about 1,000 RPM. Let her start to warm up. Now we'll do the same for the left engine. So mixture to auto rich, propeller fully forward, throttle cracked. Generators on, boost pumps on, energizing the flywheel in the left engine. You can hear it spinning up. You could also count it. About 20 seconds. Alright, sounds about good. So we're going to mesh to the left, hit the primer. Go. Good start on that engine. Alright, we'll let that one warm up as well. We can close the windows now. Get a little sense of quiet in here. There we go. Alright, so it is a little bit gloomy. So we're going to turn on the cockpit lights. Engine's back slightly. Let's wait for the temperatures to come up. So we are going to be flying to some VORs. So the first one we are going to is, as I mentioned, the VCN VOR, which is 115.2. So we'll turn our avionics on. Generators are up and running, so we can switch over to our internal battery. We'll remove the battery cart as we get ready to go. 1152 is the first VOR, and 1114 is the second one. We'll put 1114 in our standby over here on number 2. We're going to be wanting to be flying. We're going to be wanting to be flying a heading of about 207 degrees. So we're going to use this to get ourselves around to roughly that direction, so we know which way we're going to be going. It's about there, and same with here. We'll bring this around to roughly a 207 degree point there. Alright, we are looking good. Fuel is looking good. Left and right mains, and we have the auxiliary tanks as well. Temperatures and pressures are all coming up nicely. I'm going to dial that up. Alright, so battery cart is disconnected. We're on internal battery. Avionics are on. Beacon lights are on. We'll get the landing lights are on. Windshield heat, we don't need. Pitot we put on. That's off. We're good there. Those are on. That's all good. generators and boost pumps and cowl flaps are open. So I think we are pretty much ready to go for our taxi. We're going to be heading off over in that direction. There's the runway we're going to be using. So basically we're just going to swing around in position and then head outwards. All right. So I'll just bring up my airport diagram. We're going to taxi to runway 24. As winds here are 290 at 9 knots. All right. Let's lift up a little bit. A little bit of power, get ourselves moving. There we go. Get that tail swinging around. Yeah, there's still a few flying around Canada, mainly up north. They do a lot of cargo work up north. But I've always loved the DC-3. Going to taxi down here, make sure the engines don't get too fast. Also, we start to become a little uncontrollable. Alright, so we're going to turn right here. We're going to cross over this runway, which is 1634. Good. And then we're going to make the left turn here and go up to the end for runway 24. There we go. You want to keep those engines at about 1,000 RPM. This thing taxis a little bit fast on its own, but she's not too bad. We are running the Ductworks mod on this, which is the default DC-3, but it is a big improvement to how it handles. So we'll take position here on runway 24. As mentioned, we'll be heading off in about a 207 heading once we're good to go that way. So we got a little bit of a left wind. There we go. We'll pop back inside the aircraft, get everything set up. There's one notch of flap. We're going to come over here. We'll get the gyro pilot pressurized with the hydraulics. Everything is good to go. So we're going to adjust for the wind. Wind is not running the direction it should be, according to the flags there, but that's okay. So brakes released, and we're going to go up to 40 inches of power. takeoff power set. Got right aileron in to deal with that wind. There's that wind blowing the tail. Correcting. She's lifted up. I really got blown around by that wind. Actually, my seat got rolled back as I was trying to correct with the rudder. But we're up, so let's get the gear up. See how much we're already crabbing here. Trying to fly that runway heading. Didn't expect my seat to start rolling as I was trying to control it. I'm going to go to climb power, so RPM is going to come back to 2500 RPM, and we're going to go to 35 inches of manifold pressure. Once we hit 1,000 feet, we will make our turn. There's 800 feet. We can bring the flaps up. There's 1,000 feet. So let's turn to about a 207 heading. Down towards the VOR. We're going to climb up to about 2,500 feet and then we'll run under the clouds. There we go, something like that, and then we will correct ourselves as we go. Dialed in on our heading. We'll go autopilot on, rudder on. Yeah, I'd love to get up in a DC-3. I think that would be a lot of fun. Alright, so we're climbing out now, so we're going to turn now to our roughly 207 heading. It's going to be that sort of direction. Hi, Liam. So this is Trenton, New Jersey. Looks like we got a lot of haze and smoke and low cloud here. I'm doing good. So I think we're going to go to 2,000 feet for this flight. Ourselves leveled off around 2,000 just to stay under that cloud layer, and it's not a long flight anyway, and this will allow us to see a bunch of things. I'll leave the landing lights on just for the sake of visibility. Now I am on multiplayer. Oh, there's a whole whack of people that way. I think that's it towards New York. So, pretty gloomy the way we're headed. Speed's coming up, so we're going to go into cruise speed. So we're going to bring our RPMs down to 2,000 RPM. And our manifold pressure down to 30 inches. There we go. Let's get the nose down a little bit more. See, we're kind of heading down towards our beacon. We're also going to put the mixture into auto lean. Make sure the engines are running at peak performance. Keep notching that nose down as we speed up. Yeah, 2,000 feet's not bad. The highest I've flown on my own when I was flying was 10,000. Things start getting pretty small around there. So we're going to get the nose down slightly, try to get us back to that 2,000 feet as we fly by Trenton. And then further off to our right here, follow around, that's Philadelphia, off in that direction. So we're working to avoid Philadelphia today. So I'm using the weather at Dover, Delaware Air Force Base as our guide. It's saying winds are 270 at 4, so we're going to be landing on runway 22 at our destination. It's only 2,500 feet. The longest flight I have done personally, well, there's stops involved, but I've flown from the Toronto area out to the Rockies and stuff like that. I did a 10-day trip out to the Rockies, bouncing various airports all the way out, and then I'm flying up and down the Rockies and then coming home. I think the most flying I did in one day was probably about 7 or 8 hours. So 2 4-hour legs. Get ourselves level again. There we go. Slightly climb up towards 2,000 again. So small airplanes are really cramped. I tend to not to do more than 3.5 hours or so, just so I can get out and stretch the legs and stuff like that. Yeah, pretty gloomy out there today. That's Philadelphia off in the distance there. Not that we can really see it. Planes are pretty safe. Alright, so let's make a slight heading adjustment. See if we can get that flying directly to. There we go. Trains are pretty good too. I enjoy a nice scenic train ride. It is a gloomy day out here. Went outside earlier today. You could smell the smoke in the air and there's that haze everywhere. Definitely getting more wildfire smoke coming into the city. Oh, I hate traveling by bus. I like to be able to get up, move around. Alright, so temperatures and pressures, 30 inches, 2000 RPM. Oil pressure, fuel pressure is good. Oil temperature, cylinder head temperatures, carb air is good. Everything is looking alright. Just cruising along here. It's not muggy there. It's kind of humid here. It's 25 degrees out and smoky is the way I describe the weather here today. And that's part of what we're seeing out the window here is the smoke haze. So someone was asking, I think it was David was asking at the end of the stream yesterday about doing DC-6s. I am planning a DC-6 series. It's in the works. We'll be breaking out the DC-6 again and doing some flights with it. It's a little way down the line once one of these other series ends. Also planning a series flying around the Mediterranean in an aircraft, which we haven't seen before. Will come soon. And yeah, there's another one we're looking at doing in the Far East in a Canadian airplane. So lots of stuff coming. Probably towards the end of the summer, into the fall. Some new series, new aircraft, new places in the world to fly. See a little bit of mechanical turbulence down this low is making us go up and down. A little bit harder to keep our altitude since there's no altitude hold on this aircraft. So we're having to do it manually. But again, another beautiful part of the world. I have been to Delaware. Lovely little place, full of history. From Heathrow to Gatwick, well, that's a short flight. We've flown in and out of Heathrow and done a lot of in and out of Gatwick. Not sure about flying between the two. Barely get off the ground and we'd be landing again. Remember, a lot of flights I do are series, so we have a specific set of things we're doing or routes we're flying, destinations we're going to. Such as in this series, we're visiting all state capitals in the lower 48 of the U.S. Alright, so we're leaving the built-up area. Philadelphia off over in that direction. A little bit clearer air out here. Still got some haze and stuff out that way. Well, you may see something coming up for that. I'm working on something where I may be visiting London area airports, so we'll have to see what happens with it, but that may be coming. Go at the cowl flaps into trail. There we go. few extra knots of airspeed there. Las Vegas to Salt Lake City. That's possible. If you could throw that in the Discord, Liam. When I see it there, I'll make a note of it. But yeah, that's possible. Cardiff Airport isn't in Cardiff. Oh, there's a lot of airports like that that are kind of like that. I mean, Luton's not in London. Neither Southend, actually. Stansted, barely. Toronto Airport's in Mississauga. I'm going to adjust course a little bit here, see if we can get over towards the beacon again. We're drifting a little bit. It's a Cedar Lake beacon, located southeast of Philadelphia. There we go. Yeah. I'll get the robot to give it to you. Amsterdam to Salt Lake City. Well, no. Amsterdam to Salt Lake City is not too much, but that's an entire day occupied. And it would just end up being like a 40-minute video in the end anyway. So we'll do some. I do have a plan to do longer flights when I have the time. So it's there will be some coming up. Sunday we're flying from Montreal to Vienna. Again, that'll be a split stream, so we'll do the takeoff, climb to cruise, and then we'll come back hours later and do the approach and landing. Alright, I'm going to get back down to 2,000 feet here. Alright, so we're heading directly in towards the VCN VOR. We're now picking up the ENO VOR, as you can see here. Good. Well, Cardiff to Amsterdam was an easy one to do because I can do that. If I was to do, I mean, the Cardiff to Amsterdam would be one type of airplane. Amsterdam to Salt Lake would be another type of plane, and I could do that, but it doesn't seem to make too much sense for that. But yeah, the Cardiff to Amsterdam one is coming. I've got the aircraft selected for it, so it will be coming soon. Still climbing. Let's get our nose down. All right. Well, we're about to get needle swing as we head in towards. So we're just going to fly off to the next VOR. So we'll switch over. Well, that explains that. I had the wrong one in. That's fine. Alright, so we're going to turn to a heading of about 240. It's going to take us into this haze bank and off towards the next VOR. And that VOR is only about 2 miles from the airport, so we're going to get down to about 1,000 feet by the time we're there. Yeah, the Cardiff to Amsterdam will be is in a 737. This flight's not much longer. We're going to be starting down soon. We've only got about 30 miles to go. These flights are short at the moment because we're in the New England area, the first area that had states, and the states are really small, so it's short hops between the capitals. As we move further west across the U.S., the flights will get a little bit longer as the states get bigger. Alright, so let's get us down to 1,000 feet. We'll get about 500 foot per minute descent going. So we'll hold at 2,000 for a minute. So we're looking good. Our airport is kind of off in that direction over there. It won't be a stream, Liam. I'm doing it as a video, and I will be playing that video when I am away and unable to stream. So the requests are done as edited videos, not as streams. Because when I travel, I don't like to have nothing on the channel, so I'd usually fill it in with something, but if people want to see certain airports or a certain route, I'll do it as an edited video. So we're just going to keep adjusting our heading a little bit to the west. I don't mind coming into the west of the VOR, at least it gives me a little bit of room. So what we'll end up doing, as the current Dover weather is an hour ago. Yeah, it's all about 7 knots, low cloud, hazy, 26 degrees. 8.4. It's pretty much there, and we'll fly across the airfield and do a left downwind pattern to land. Yeah, I'll tell you now, it's about a month away that you'll be seeing it. I've penciled it in on a schedule for the beginning of August. So that's roughly when it's going to come out. Not sure the exact date yet. Depends how my plans firm up, but that's probably when we're going to see it. Ooh, it's definitely getting hazy out there. Start going down again. Alright, we got the water coming. Oh god, it is murky. We got the water coming up. Chesapeake Bay, I think it is. We're going to cross over and then fly down. Well, it'll be on the channel, so you'll be able to see it if you're away when you get back. So it won't be going anywhere. Alright, Get her down to 1,500 feet and then we'll hold. Is a good spot to hold at. Still can't see the water yet. Nope. A little sim freeze. There we go. Definitely hazy out today. Oh, picking up a beacon. Not sure what we were picking up there. Sounds like a marker. Oh, there's an airport off to our left. Maybe I was picking up the outer marker for that airport. To the ILS. There's the coast, and there's the bay, and we're heading to the other side. When you're not stuck playing Monopoly. Well, at least you can do that nowadays. Keep you occupied on trips. Lovely looking DC-3. Alright, we're not bad. We're sticking around that 1,500 feet. This airplane, this is the Douglas DC-3. First flew in the mid-1930s. Runs two Pratt & Whitney WASP 2800s as the engines, and was a workhorse during World War II. As the C-47 for the Air Force, the RD-4 for the Navy. Flew with dozens of countries all around the world. And there's still a number of them flying over today. Alright, we're at the bay. Crossing over, we're still sort of heading towards the... Okay, let's turn a little bit more to the west. I'm going to have to go a little bit more. What about 250? Or 260? There we go. So I believe those lights there is Dover Air Force Base. Our airport is somewhere over here. Right now we're heading to the beacon as my reference point. So once we hit the beacon, we'll descend down to 1,000 feet, and then we'll go find the airfield, overfly it, and come in and get us into land. That heads out to the Atlantic. That heads up towards Philadelphia. So the beacon should just be in here. City of Dover is over here. Looks like we're just going to be slightly west of the beacon, which is fine. This is all going to be visual. Like they did it in the old days. And it is a, let me see if I get the runway length, 2,500 foot runway. So we're going to go full flaps, right on stall speed, get her down, get her heavy on the brakes, and get her stopped. Just keeping an eye out. Yeah, it's the Air Force Base. I think. Maybe not. That could be it there. That is it. Interesting. I thought it said it was a grass field. Don't. What are you doing, Sim? That was not. Sorry. I was looking out with my thing and I was leaning on the cable that goes in for my headphones and it started to interrupt. So that's our airport there. We're actually going to be landing this way. Which is interesting. Okay. So we have the airport in sight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect the autopilot. We're going to start down. I'm going to pull the power back. And we're going to come out. We're going to loop around and then we're going to come in for landing. It says the winds here at Dover Air Force Base are 240. We're going to land on 22. So shouldn't be too bad with a crosswind. You're going to want to get down to about 1,000 feet for when we pass overhead. So we'll circle over the place here. This is Dover Racetrack. This is where I came when I was here. NASCAR race here at Dover, Delaware. Watching the fast cars do left turns for 4 hours, 5 hours. Doesn't look like much in here, but oh man, was it a hot, noisy weekend when we were here. Hey, Frederick. New Jersey looks wonderful. Areas of it does. There's a reason it's called the Garden State. All right. Actually, that is not our airport. Our airport is right there. So let's get turned around. There's Dover Raceway. There's the outer bank where they would race around. It's pretty cool. I'm going to turn in towards our airport. Alright, there's the Air Force Base in front of us. power down, mixture's fully forward. Speed coming back, we'll go flaps 1. Alright, let's get up here, turn off the gear horn. There we go. Get that speed coming back, get us descending. There's our field right there. Maybe that one was looking rather big. It is tucked in right down here. And that's where we're headed. So we'll be coming in from the other end, landing here. And it looks like we'll be taxiing back up to this end up here. I was wondering why we were seeing those lights running in. Or we shouldn't have had those run-in lights. Let's get her down. Another notch of flaps. Props fully forward. Mixtures in auto rich. This dude's coming back. The Beehive State, Utah. Is that because of the rock formations? Alright, so 100 knots, gear down. Bring the power up, put the horn back on. All right, 3/4 flaps. Power right back. Begin our turn. Bring her all the way around onto final. Vegas to Salt Lake is going to be a vid. Yes, it will. I'll pick an airline and stuff that's suitable for it, and then we'll I'll do the video. I'm gonna watch our speed. We're getting a little bit slow. All right, gotta concentrate here. There's the airfield. It's just over those trees. It's 900 feet. I'll keep that speed about 90 at the moment. But if you put it on the Discord, I'll remember to see it. Since I'm not making notes at the moment, as I'm a little bit busy. Coming around, there's the runway, on the other side of the trees there. Feet, full flaps. Gotta get it over the trees. Airport elevation is about 44 feet. So we're about 500 feet to go. And drop it down just over the trees. the trains popping in like that. That wind is a little bit strong. Trees, down we go. All right, get that tail down. Well, we're here, and I can definitely say we do not fit in this airfield. Let's get her stopped before I run off the end here. Wow. Yeah, this was a small one, but we got her in. Ah, you woke the bot up. Alright, let's get this thing around. We'll get her up and park her. Alright, flaps up. Yeah, definitely field for little light airplanes. Not something like this. The Diamond State. Diamond State. I don't think I've heard that one. Which state is that, Frederick? I got no idea where we're going to park this thing. I think she's just going to go on the grass here. Yeah, this is somebody's like little private airfield. I'll just put her on the grass. Arkansas. Interesting. There we go. Alright, so let's get the brakes on. Get the engines up to 1,000 RPM. Let them run for a minute. Again, the reason for that is gets the oil out of the sumps and splashes it around so that you're well lubricated for when it shuts down. In addition, it provides heat to the engine to prevent shock cooling. No, we want to get those open. So we can come up top now, landing lights can come off, pitot heat can come off. And that's good. We'll have them hook up the battery cart. Back doors can be opened up while we wait. There we go. So there's left engine and right engine. Very nice. So now that we're here, that can come off, that can come off, avionics can go off. We're on battery cart, mags off, boost pumps off, generators off, and we turn off the cockpit lights, and we're all done. Welcome to Dover, Delaware. Kind of a very small airfield for us to be in, but we made it in without hitting the trees and anything like that. Well, tomorrow's our day off. We're back Friday flying Aurora. We'll be flying out of Jackson Hole, Wyoming, heading back to our base in Vancouver. 19:30 hours on Friday. Hope to see you there. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for participating in the chat. And we will see you all on the next one. Bye for now.